Some cruises are about the destination and some are about the journey. And what would be more like a journey than sailing through Alaska? You know, and what better idea than the front of the ship?
This was our clever thought.
The icy tundra.
Right from the front.
The North American version of the fjords.
Yeah.
And we thought, oh my goodness, what a great way to see it go by from our beautiful front balcony. So was it a good idea?
Maybe.
Welcome again to John and Louie's Big Adventures.
I'm John.
I'm Louie.
He certainly is.
And this week we want to talk about, is getting the front facing cabin the best idea?
Seemed like a good idea on paper. Really windy out.
This is interesting. This is an interesting choice and something that you really have to weigh. We were vaguely aware of what we were in store for, but nothing like what really happened.
Everything was just slightly more intense than we had anticipated, and we want to just let you know what it could be like.
So first off, the most obvious question is, are you willing to have more movement? Because when you're in the front or you're in the back, there's more movement.
Yeah, and especially in the front. And so we do pretty well.
Yeah, we kind of like the ship moving a little bit. We like to feel like we're at sea.
It's
not
calm.
crazy. We don't want to be in some, terrible storm, but
some people might worry who get seasick or
Yes.
who have been seasick in the past,
Yes.
like I have. It's not like when you eat too much and get sick or drink too much and get sick. When you are seasick,
do they need to know what it's like to be
no,
seasick?
I just want to. I want to bond with people who know this. Who might worry about. Well, we're talking about the movement in front of the ship. Once you're seasick, baby, you're sick until the world stops moving.
This is very true.
So it's important to know.
It's not pretty. Also in the front, there's a lot more walking.
You'll get your steps in.
Yeah, because you obviously gotta get everywhere. And we were in the back one time, and that was back and forth and up and down and here, there, and yon. And
But on most ships, the theater is in the back.
correct.
There
are important things
usually
in the front
back,
and the
so
back.
Just
so
know
you
that
do a lot of walking.
you're going to walk the length of the ship many times a day.
So usually if you're in the front or the back, the cabin's going to be configured a little bit different than normal.
Yes.
The one that we were on this last cruise,
Specifically.
was very different than the normal things. In fact, if you look on the website, they show a picture of every cabin. They do not show this picture. They do not show not that it's bad, because
Not at
actually
all.
it was a really good setup.
It's a unique layout and a good one.
Yeah, we really liked the cabin.
And many ships have what we had, this sort of wraparound, front to the side.
Correct.
Which offers you great views.
Yes. This is what was enticing about the front, obviously. And again, going to Alaska, we figured, what better time when we're looking at glaciers than to be right at the front of the ship, which was the truth, as long as you're not moving.
Right. For those of you interested specifically in the Discovery Princess at this time, this was the overall shape of the room, the condition, which was...
It was pretty good,
Pretty
Actually, they had taken care of it pretty well. It was very clean.
Immaculate.
Very, very clean. We had a wonderful steward, and it was very, very clean. There was a couple little wear and tear things.
Some of it was a little well worn. It was late in the season.
Nothing outrageous.
No.
Nothing outrageous. It was a little bland, would be my only critique of it. It's a little bland.
Perfectly functional, especially for a couple that doesn't go to bed or rise at the same time.
Yeah, if they had a curtain, which some of them do have curtains that separate the two. That was not the case in this one, but that was fine. We got along just fine.
Yeah.
There's a nice little desk area. The TV's over there.
It immediately feels like a bigger than usual cabin, which it is.
Yeah. I mean, it feels dated, but very nice, It's very nice. Then there's a sofa in there, which I assume folds out into a bed, which was, mildly comfortable. Yeah. A little firm, but that's okay for a sofa in a ship. A little living room. You can sort of look out the window there, the sliding doors onto your balcony. Then you head into the bedroom.
I'll tell you, we both had great sleep.
Yes.
On that bed.
Yes. We've heard that
pretty Goldilocks for me.
We've heard that Princess has good beds, and I would say that's the case. It was just right Goldilocks.
Come in, a decent size.
Never put your luggage on the bed. They tell every traveling business person or speaker this. Do you know why? It's the easiest way to get bed bugs.
Really?
It is. It's a fact. I learned that because I spoke at a convention of exterminators. I learned that.
These are the things that you watch John and Louie's Big Adventure for.
Bed bugs.
Bed bugs.
Come in, you got here. They've got a tiny, just good for wallets and wigs and falls and things. And then
is that a UCB?
there is right there. Yes, you do have one right there and one on the other side. Not really a plug, but yeah, the port, if you will.
And a really nice big window.
Yes.
Here, out to the balcony.
Ample.
Yes.
Closet space.
Just perfect for our backpacks.
Yeah. Here, that's good for jackets and gowns and things. Now, here's where it gets crazy.
Well, we didn't do the bathroom yet.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do the bathroom. Yeah, I think it's a very functional bathroom. It did have the shower curtain, which, I don't think anybody really loves a shower curtain, but it was fine. You thought there was one problem.
It's a little bit weird that if you, like us, get up in the night to use the washroom, you have to walk through the living room to get, there's no access from the bedroom, which is...
Yeah, this wasn't a mini suite. This was not a full-fledged suite.
Right.
So the thing is, what I think you have to look at is, it's better than having the entrance in the bedroom than in the living room. Because if the bedroom was, you'd have to walk through the bedroom while somebody was sleeping.
Okay, I guess
and that would not be good. So, nothing's perfect.
Something that the uninitiated might not think of is the fact that in the evening, you have to keep the blinds closed.
Yeah, the way our balcony was situated was right on top of the bridge. So the captain and they're all looking out to see what's going on for icebergs. So they need it to be dark so that they can see what's going on. So we had to be sure that all of our curtains were closed and no lights on the balcony and blah, blah, blah. So,
it doesn't mean you can't go out onto the balcony, but you have got to keep
you've got to keep your curtains closed.
You don't want any light emanating.
Right.
I mean, it's
so that is, that would be a slight negative as far as this room would go. Because on other balconies, you'd be able to have some light.
That's true.
If you want to sit out there at night.
It's something most people wouldn't anticipate. Oh, I got to turn the light off. Oh.
Correct. There's a sign. There was a sign.
Although I don't know what they'd do if you had the light on.
Probably. And speaking of the balcony.
Which you will a lot, because there's a lot to talk about.
There is.
First of all, it's immense space. You could create your own buffet and sell tickets out there. It is so huge.
Yeah, you could have a little specialty restaurant action going in there. I mean, it was huge. And I believe there are only 2 of these balconies because it's over the bridge. So it was ridiculously huge. It got to be so like, well, what do you do out here?
What do you do with all that room? Well, you enjoy the massive view from like all sides is what you do, which is in fact what you can do as long as the ship is not moving.
As long as you're in port.
As long as you're, and it is beautiful. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's spectacular to have that room. I mean, it's just amazing, especially in Alaska.
Especially in Alaska,
where there's those mountains.
You don't have to get on deck with everybody else to look at the glacier. I mean, it is just perfect.
Yeah. So that is definitely a big plus, which is why we did it.
Yeah.
Although I don't know that we would do it again.
Okay, we're not sure we'd do it again, and the reason why is, and look, we're not completely daft. Well, we assumed that there was, you know, I mean, we weren't dumb. We thought, we were going to get, but we just could not have anticipated.
We didn't think it'd be hurricane force winds.
We didn't think I'd literally maybe be Mary Poppinsing it out the other side of the ship.
So the steward was supposed to come in and move the furniture as we moved away from port. But this one time, he must have been busy or whatever. But he didn't come, and we started to go. And I thought, it's so windy out here. I better move these chairs because there's a good chance they could be picked up and blown off the edge of the ship, which
hurled into the Disney ship next door.
Which must be why they have to, put them in lockdown. And I, honest to God, could barely walk.
I've rarely laughed so hard.
It was truly unbelievable.
Other ships we've seen have some sort of protection.
This had no wind blocking whatsoever.
It's not blocking the wind, but what it is blocking is the view if you were inside the cabin, which is another thing to consider, is that you think, oh, I'm going to look out. Unless you were standing,
right,
you're not going to be able to see over this thing. So it blocks the view, but not the wind.
Yeah, now to be fair, they do say on the description of the room that there is some blockage in that room. So we knew that going in too. That was one of the things that we weighed when we thought about it, was we thought, well, we're not going to be able to see if we're sitting down. We're going to have to be standing. But we thought it would be worth it to see the glaciers.
And it kind of was.
And it kind of was. Yeah. Yeah, for that purpose, it was great.
So the question is, should you do it?
Yeah, I mean, should you do it? That's up to you, like you take into consideration what we're saying, just like we did, and then figure it out. But the things to figure out is where you're going.
I would consider doing it again somewhere warm, where it wouldn't be such a big deal if you're out and it is quite windy.
Right.
Or two, where you're spending more time stationary. I'm thinking of French Polynesia, Tahiti, somewhere like that, where you're not making long treks and most of it is ported somewhere beautiful. I would consider it again, but not for Alaska, I wouldn't.
I would consider it again if there was some wind partition, some wind coverage thing, because that was really intense. I mean, that was really, really intense. So I'm not sure if I would do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure you should either.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks to our subscribers. Oh, sorry. Thanks to our subscribers. And we're almost 15,000 of you. And
we would also like to thank everybody who comments. We really enjoy reading them. And I know most of you watch this on the TV. So most of our subscribers do. So I know it's impossible to comment on TV, so you have to actually go and do some work to comment. So we really appreciate that and love reading all the comments.
Yeah.
We get very excited.
Yeah, they're very clever.
Yeah.
So we're going to be on the Excel, and we are going to need a chair and a whip to get through all of the other content creators that are going to probably be on that ship.
Exactly. It's going to be terrifying.
But we're doing it for you.
You keep saying that.
Just for you. It's selfless. We're doing the retreat for you.
You're ridiculous. Thank you, guys.
Thanks so much.
See you soon.
Really.
Hey, maybe we'll see you on the Excel.
Maybe. If you know, you know.